as they said, Terrorblade with a free lane could potentially give them a really good head start for Ramses, and he showed that in games where he can just farm and hit his timings, he's very consistent, right? A lot of people didn't expect him to take the first series, and his Sven in that game was super good.
Mr. Boxy. That's that's no good. I know Nisha is Nisha's giving off a bit of a sigh right now, seeing his opposition's mid laner have first blood.
Oh yeah, I thought that maybe Ramses was going to be able to pick that up, but yeah, either mid or carry picking first blood, you're always going to be really happy about it. Matchup-wise, it's probably kind of a snooze fest, although I would say when Ranger has the advantage, you probably never get to drain her damage too much past level 1.
Senyu being a good little support. Mine actually doesn't guess correctly on where the observer is, unfortunately. He's got another sentry still for this bottom lane. And they did go back for the Undying as well, which is something you kind of critiqued in the previous game, especially with some of the heroes that had to really minimize the effectiveness of his late game, I guess, advantage in Tombstone. How do we feel overall, though, about the Undying this game for Insanio?
I think the Undying is better this game because it is much easier for them to take fights. You have this Razor that can just run in and force abilities, get vision, the Slaughter. I think the biggest reason I like it is 33 playing a bit of a playmaking hero, something we don't get to see that often, right? He's known for his Beastmasters and Dooms and Brewmasters, so that's going to be interesting. Out of his hero pool, I don't think Slaughter is even in the top 15. It's not a hero he plays very often.
Been very impressive with a lot of the Slaughter games that I've been seeing, and like Milan brought up, this is an age-old combo where you have the Life Stealer and the Slaughter together, so at least you got the Terrorblade with a decent amount of armor. Conker's also a hero that can kind of go for some of those armor items. Used to be in the past, so, Phase Boots, Armlet, not really getting anything like that anymore, so he might have some difficulties. Without a doubt, the supports will as well, so gonna have to see how much physical damage that will come through eventually for Liquid.
Oh yeah. And even though this Terrorblade is supposed to be decent against Terrorblade, I feel like Lifestealer is a much better matchup against it than it used to be. Not only Radiance got buffed, but this new Eggs build allowing not only it's the Rage that prevents Sunder from being cast, but now you can infest the Terrorblade as he's trying to use it. I really feel like this Lifestealer is in general, honestly, a better hero than TB right now. I agree with Milan that as a carry, I am not impressed with most of the TB performance I've seen. It feels like this hero just farms and never really seems that strong. It's just a weird hero right now.
And him in top lane. Gets a kill to Boxy. Liquid thought they were strong enough to actually fight this, but it proves to be a big misstep in their judgment on their damage calculations and what League were able to pump out. So a double kill in their safe lane without the meta as well is the most important thing.
This is, I mean, it's a Crystal Maiden body blocking a Slaughter and getting a kill. Usually this hero is that's just gets beaten down the lane. Pantoman just being super aggressive. And they didn't even use this Blood Grenade. So as you said, once the Metamorphosis is back up with the Blood Grenade, this could potentially be another opportunity for them to strike. Mid lane is relatively even. Slight advantage. I mean, yeah, decent advantage to the Wind Ranger, which is what I expected. And bottom, Lifestealer doing pretty well, but the Kunkka is farming. He's just struggling with his region.
Yeah, it's just a big question of the creep equilibrium and the current placement of the lane. You do have the small camp to be able to reposition back to top lane though. Pantoman should go down this time without Liquid dropping one of their own members as well in response. So this lane, at least for the CM in particular, is just only going to get more difficult once the levels are picked up. Especially every odd level for this Slaughter. We know how strong he's truly able to be, and has that Bracer. He's actually going to be offering for the Phase Boots next as well for the Slaughter.
Alright, just to get that gap close. It really helps though that Pantoman got those kills and finished his boots first. I think he could have probably even survived there, but Ramses body blocked him a little bit as CM was trying to run away. But once you get Tranquil Boots on Pantoman, it's not necessarily that easy to catch. The duration of lift telekinesis is pretty short. And you do have the actually 2 points in reflection here, maybe to try and help the Crystal Maiden in the lane. You don't see that very often.
Do you like this? What are your thoughts on 2 reflection?
I like it. It's a decent move speed slow buff, and I think this is because they're already winning this lane. It could even allow them to run down some of these heroes. It obviously slows down the farming speed of Rances. A lane you want this Crystal Maiden to feed. Because Slaughter is not a hero that farms too fast, so you don't want to feed him kills. As Bo3, there's an illusion here as well.
Yeah, Bo3, I don't think you win this, unfortunately, with the assistance of the illusion.
What?
Fate Bolt actually up in a couple of seconds. Pentamon's got his own spells, however, to work with as well. So, solo experience for the Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, that's huge. That's 400 gold already. Could finish the Trankles, could finish the Wand. Ramses has Metamorphosis to zone away. Look at the net worth for 33 this game. He's not having a nice time whatsoever. Nisha dragging some creeps here, just being efficient with his time, I guess. We'll get his level 6 as well. I guess with the level 6 on the Wind Ranger, have to be very careful. But anyone that connects to the mid lane could potentially kill you. And supports are rotating for the rune, so it's going to be probably a big fight in the mid lane.
Nisha doesn't have the greatest resources, though, to be able to take a bit of a skirmish right now.
Yeah, pops the OT.
Gonna pop the ultimate, and even Tombstone as well. We'll hope that's enough to zone them away. Seeing he's able to snag the haste. Hang on a second. Hang on. They're actually going to be able to get 1J. Can they get more? Insania wants to start slapping Rabel, but Focus Fire is going to be a big enough deterrent. Nisha still, he'll be able to secure the kill. It's a double for the Razor. Unfortunately, will of course go down, but not the worst in the end.
Yeah, I think this is fine. You got the kills, you denied the rune from Rebel, and at the end of the day, he Focus Fire, didn't get any kills. It's all right. The biggest problem to me is the Slaughter, because even though Kunkka is struggling just as much CS-wise, he can farm stacks, right? Kunkka can actually recover and get his timings just as fine, whereas this Slaughter hero, he is like farming from Boots to Blink Dagger. If you have a terrible laning stage, can be pretty slow. And yeah, I mean, 33, very inventive player. Very curious to see what exactly he's gonna try and do to mitigate that. Here's the rune.
Insania should be dead here with a Conquer rotation, yeah. Looks like he's going to start to swing on over. So unfortunately, Insania doesn't snipe the Wisdom and also gives a kill away as well, which is going to feel quite nice considering this Conqueror is still having a bit more of a difficult time down bottom. I mean, 33 is still very much struggling, so very intrigued on what Liquid are going to do to try and enable the Slaughter in this game.
Yeah, once you get level 6, those kills do become a bit faster. A bit easier, so you can rotate this Razor. He is just using his ulti to farm though, so that rotation might not come right now. And the supports, once again, you have this Undying. Oh no.
Jump in. He gets a sprint off only level 1, and unfortunately no Quelling Blade to cut through the trees as well, so continuing the really slow start for this Slaughter. And Liga making some pretty good movements across the map.
Rune. Oh, denied by Bo3.
He wants revenge for that. Well, snipe on the Arcane. Unfortunately, Rabel not going to have the damage now. And did commit Wind Run, but I guess he has maxed it out, so relatively low cooldown.
Okay, should be just fine. Timado just doing lifestealer things here. Didn't commit for the full Orb of Corrosion, but got at least the Orb of Venom to slow down the Kunkka. And is just going to look for an Armlet. This is probably a Radiance game on the Lifestealer, I'm assuming. Really good against illusions. The Mischance is awesome to have as well against the Wind Ranger. Oh, that's a Orchid build on 33.
Yeah, this is... I was casting with Lizard recently in the Elite League qualifiers, and he was saying that he's been seeing a lot more of the Orchid Slaughter lately.
Yeah, I've seen it as well, but I've seen it like against the Puck, against the really mobile heroes. Wind Ranger is usually a hero that gets to pop Wind Run just like if you see her, she's gonna pop Wind Run instantly. But you know, it gives you farming speed. Slaughter definitely struggles with HP and mana regen. So I guess I see why you would go for it, but it's a really slow build up for a hero like Slaughter. Even though they like nerfed or I guess buffed the items recipe a little bit, it's still like a 3,000 wood item.
Tomato looking to try and put a little bit of pressure onto the Conqueror, who's still only level 5. I think one more creep should give him that ultimate. So in case a fight does break out and they want to commit for him, it's going to be much more difficult now. Do you, like, overall, do you like this instead of something like a Blink Rush? Or, because Liquid, we are going to see some difficulties with how they can initiate some of the fights. Maybe you can just run the Razor down some lanes and act as, like, if Liga don't contest the Razor, then they can just take objectives, but at least their way to get him with stuns is very much lacking before this Slardar's item.
Yeah, very similar to the other game that they played, but I do feel like their heroes this time are better. I feel like they scale better, so you don't necessarily care if you're gonna play passive. So it's really on Liga to make the moves and get that early advantage. Terrorblade's gonna be farming as they do find Insania here with Rebel. So yeah, I mean,
freebie?
I don't think I hate the Orchid, but I do feel like it doesn't really fix Slaughter's problems, which is he does farm really slowly, and at least in the past, the way to solve that was just to play aggressive with the hero and utilize like how much his burst damage is strong, how powerful he is very early. If you have to go, you know, Orchid into Blink, it does take a while. They are not getting punished at all by that. Timado is free farming. The Razor is recovering, actually pretty much almost tied up with Rebel. So things are looking okay for Liquid here.
You see there are some gigantic stacks that are back in the jungle of Liga. We got this big one over at the triangle way top lane, a second 33. They made it go a little bit too early before the Conqueror actually committed with his TP, so 33 is going to be able to evade the gank.
There's also some stacks here for 33. Not the greatest hero at doing that, but at least you get those benefits from the puddle once you use your Zithering Crush, so he should be able to farm this.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Time for the rune, 12-minute rune. Only 2 supports here so far, so let's see who's gonna get lucky. Oh, there you go.
Not bad. What is your current, like, favorite item build for the Razor? Because we can kind of see some different things out of this hero depending on the situation of games.
I like the Manta. I think now that the Ultimate Orb isn't as expensive, it feels much better to get this item early, right? Because if you're picking it as a second or third item, in general, you wouldn't have a slot for the Ultimate Orb. Whereas now, you can actually still afford it. You buy that item a bit faster as well, just because of getting the stats and the damage from... What even is the name? The Diadem. So I like it. I think it's a fine build-up here. This is not necessarily the best meta game for Razor, though. You are against Focus Fire, X. I think BKB is going to be necessary. But it feels like Liquid, all they care about is farm. To break even in lanes with the strong picks, they literally went for the same supports from the other game. And they want to break even and then just utilize their stacking prowess and how they can play the map to outfarm their opponents. The thing is, they're not necessarily outfarming Liga, although Ramses here is gonna pressure a little bit now.
Oh, nice pathing. That's perfect. What a read from them. Pentiment and Rabel wrap all the way around, and they scanned as well. So Liquid were well aware that this movement was going on. Maybe thought they were continuing to play by the secret shop and potentially in a position to save the Terrorblade if it got jumped. And you've got the Wisdom runes up in 20 seconds as well. And Liquid are having a lot of difficulties with the levels on the supports. I mean, Insane is still only level 5. Boxy just hit level 6. Speaking of Boxy as well, he's just going to run straight into them and give them another kill. He doesn't want to give them this Wisdom. I mean, they know the importance. Again, they're such low levels at the moment that they need to pick this up. But meanwhile,
Timado?
What's going on the opposite side of the map? I mean, Tomato can always rage TP out, so he's never really under threat.
Alright, yeah, should be okay. That buyback, I mean, it is a lot of experience you're getting, but it's also gonna be costly for Bo3. I think his net worth was looking good, and now behind pretty much everyone but Insania. We've seen how much Bo3 was able to do with that Rubik in the other game, but he was stacked. He had a lot of gold, a lot of kills. He's 1-4 this game. Well, the Orchid is pretty close here for 33. I think once he farms his gigantic stack, they should pretty much be getting it. You have the Manta on the Razor, but I wonder if that's enough for them to go for play, because without the BKB, as we said, it might still be a bit weird. And you also don't have any gap close on the Slaughter. So what does the Orchid by itself really gives you? That is kind of the question for me. It's not like a Magnus, you know? We see a lot of Orchid Magnuses in the offlane, but you do have the skill to initiate some fights. In general, his spells have more cast range. Oh no.
Making it go into the Razor. Look at the damage out of Rabel. Oh my, this early game from Liquid, just zero moves from them. And I think there's big reason to highlight the potential build from 33. Like, this is leaving a lot to be desired. We need this Orchid to do a lot for them. Like, there's no doubt the stats are great on this hero, especially, you know, attack speed and everything else that it's able to provide, but if you don't get a couple kills off the back of this Orchid as soon as it's picked up, game is going to look very difficult to play.
Exactly. Okay,
Nice
they find Insania as well. I mean, and they're just letting kills everywhere. Okay, they're gonna try and fight. They have the Orchid. Oh no, but he got the Windrun off.
Careful the mines! Just runs into a couple. Oh, that's not what you're hoping for. Orchid just picked up at a perfect timing for Rabel to get the DD. Mines littering the ground. And this is, you have all this control, and just wait till the fights start to break out with the Torrent Storm as well from the Conquer.
I mean, this is just a free tower here for Liga. No, not enough time for the spawn of 33. This Lifestealer is still farming, gonna get that Radiance. They will hit some timings in Liquid, even in the other games. They were never too scared of bleeding some kills, of losing a couple of towers to get into those timings. I just can't help but wonder, sure, your core scale will be better than Liga's, but your supports are starving. You need to enable them just at least a little bit.
So, like, what is the play for Liquid? What do you look to do? You're down 7,000 gold. You're yet to, you know, take mid or top tower. Are we looking for them to try and force this objective up top, or like it's still just maybe wait towards some items?
Yeah, you have to wait the Radiance Blink timing. I think that's it. Either BKB plus Radiance or Blink plus Radiance. Ideally, all three, because like they're slowly bleeding so many kills. They lose another fight. Oh, Bo3, you are gone.
So much different game from Bo3. We just haven't really been able to see the Rubik have that impact they were, you know, desiring from him. Last game, incredible performance. Unfortunately, not enough for him to get over the finish line. And this is going to be a completely different game where he doesn't have gold or experience to really utilize a lot of the spells that the panel was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, Nisha is still very farmed. Timado is still very farmed. And you're really going to have to make that count. Sacred Relic is done. He's also... Okay, that's another kill here. Liga, they don't stop. Timado, he is actually keeping his Sacred Relic in the backpack for a pretty long time here. I hope he realizes that. But it's been like 30 seconds. There we go.
Swaps it in. So let's see. I mean, this is going to be the true test of how strong this Lifestealer is. Like, how do you truly feel even about it against the Terrorblade? I know a lot of people kind of have some different opinions on how this matchup can work.
I think late into the game, it is definitely a good matchup. This early on, with only 2 points in Rage, I am not sure, especially because there's also a Wind Ranger. So the options here for Timado on the targets he can go for, it's pretty much only the supports. It takes too long to kill the Kanka, and you cannot kill either the Terrorblade or the Wind Ranger, unless you're smoked. But then you rely on that Blink we were talking about, and that Blink is still 700 gold away here. Not a lot of farming the map, and they will find him.
Another pick and another great read. You move down bottom, get the tower, smoke through the portal as well. And I mean, we definitely can be looking at some objectives to pick up pretty shortly here from Liga. Ramsey's Scardy's almost up. But it looks like they've had enough of the status quo. Liquid, Radiant, BKB, Nisha. They're ready to fight. They're gonna take their fight without the Slaughter though. And Nisha won't even be able to activate the BKB. Oh my, what is going on? Boxy now. Can he get the TP off?
Oh, the X!
Oh, they got the X! Wait, what?
He stole the X. Wait, what? Did he manage to do it? What? Because it didn't work that way the other time, right?
Yeah, I don't know about this mechanic now, because yeah, it really didn't work like that last game.
Maybe if you're far away enough from the initial X? I don't know. I don't know how this is coded, but it is weird. Like, if you're too far away from the X, maybe it works. I mean, he survived, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
As we said,
That
Radiance is up. The Blink Dagger on the Slaughter still really far away. And that's gonna be... Is this Roche for them? They have the Wind Ranger bottom. I think they could brute force this Liga if they want to. They're actually wrapping it around.
Look at the Pinsar coming through from the south. It's gonna be the Wind Ranger and the Terrorblade as well. They're cutting off the pass. Tomato does somehow slip past though.
Yeah, it's gonna be found.
Box is gonna be found in the tree line, however. We'll get the Rubik nonetheless. And we do see Tomato, his decision this game, it's... I believe he's bought the Shard. Yep, Shard's coming out in the Courier, and he wants a very early Scepter as well.
Yeah, I think that's the build. You need to be able to disarm either the Wind Ranger or the TB. It also gives you, the lower cooldown on Infest, which could possibly allow them to take some more fights alongside the Blink on Slaughter, which 33 is flying to him right now. That is, if he doesn't get picked off again.
Some of the heroes are doing Roche though, so they don't have all their firepower for the attempt up top lane. That's not going to matter in the end. Roche will go for free. Let's see who they give the Aegis to though. Looks like Ramsey's going to give it over to the Wind Ranger.
Oh, but Darius TP.
Now they're going to be setting up top lane. They've got a great Observer Ward down to the south, so it's going to scout 33.
He missed
It's looking like a bit of a freebie. He misses some of the combo, but he's got plenty of spells to be able to make up for the mess.
0 and 6 on 33. It's very rare to see him having a game like this. You know, I guess we can attribute this for Slaughter not being a hero he's that comfortable with, right? It is, I think it's like 20th in his list of heroes. But yeah, kind of a really tough game here for Liquid.
I just want to point out real quick, like, I'm a really big fan of the item build from Rabel. I think Hurricane Pike this game, when you're against especially double melee cores and cores that want to be on top of you, and you got kind of lucky with the Grobo. So your ability to play the distance inside these team fights is going to be very easy. I mean, a Scepter, of course, really enables that as well. So, you know, the Pike it's not like too crazy of a build. That we do get it every now and then, especially being universal, but in games like this, it feels really, really nice for the Wind Ranger.
No, I agree. It's great. It's two melee heroes and a Razor, so you just get so much value out of it. You do find Timado here, but a quick rage will push him away. And it is also great because that attack range also allows them to deal with the Tombstone. Not that they necessarily need it. They have a lot of great attack range heroes. Tekis has 700, and obviously the TB with a Hurricane Pike as well. And they have 2 Grove Balls, man. Those Tombstones are not going to be living for long.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They poke high ground? I feel like
they could poke. Yeah, I think you definitely poke. You want them to be forced to the base. Liquid, they've been farming the entire game.
Nisha, what a shackle, Rabel. No way he landed there onto the creeps. Nisha can maybe think about the BKB.
Tombstone?
Insania would do his best with the Tombstone. Nice shields as well to help him get away. BKB's off the Frostbite, and Nisha's okay. It was with an Arcane Rune, I believe. Meanwhile, Okay.
Solo kill?
I mean,
Oh, no,
nah,
okay.
they had the conquer there.
Okay. I mean, that's another tower, I think, because even when 33 spawns, there's not going to be a BKB for 50 seconds on Nisha. Liga, they are just playing a flawless game here. And that's with Liquid having the theoretical stronger lanes. Just very impressed with how they're playing.
DD now from Rabel. It's been pretty on point with the shackles. Let us see. Box is going to be fine. Of course, they're not going to go for it. They just want to get a free T2 tower and look to continue to put all the map pressure on that they would need. You know, top might be next. They don't have the greatest position currently with the creeps. They've got a pretty nice observer ward, though, that might be able to help out with this.
Alright, the Axe is very close on Timado. So yeah, if you're Liquid, your timing now is wait the Aegis out, fight. Like, they never got to infest this larder. They never got to even use this blink. So wait the eggs and fight with that BKB Manta.
Here we go.
Oh, they are fighting each 3
Here's
here.
the Infest, 33. It's the Conquer, though. He's pretty goddamn tanky. 2,400 health and first Infest of the game from 33 and Tomato. It's just not good enough to get them back in.
Yeah, just Liga having good position around the map. It really felt like a YOLO smoke from Liquid. They have absolutely no vision. They just smoke and try to go for a play. Obviously, 33 so far behind that this doesn't matter that much, I think. Like, you force some TPs. This is a lane where Liga already took a tier 2 tower. So it's not the end of the world for Liquid, but it still feels really bad. Ooh.
That's just free Tombstone gold as well, I suppose. They still see Nisha with this cliff ward as well. And Rabel has the focus fire to work with.
Tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
So many good shackles this game.
They know though. Observer ward. And still they're gonna go past him instead. It was exactly like we saw him the previous kill onto the Undying. Nisha might pop out behind them. 33 is gonna miss on the crush though. Lacking some of the detection. But here comes Nisha from behind. You don't have your Terrorblade currently as well, but now Nisha's isolated. BKB, oh, the body blocks are on point now. They've got the damage from Rabel. No, whoa.
Oh, the Axe was on cooldown.
So
1
close.
second. 1 second for the Axe.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Sheesh. Yeah, this is Aegis expiring, but like, out of all games that Liquid was able to come back, they were trading farm. Like, sure, they were bleeding kills, but in net worth, they were even the entire game. This really doesn't look like that at all. All of the possible advantage they had because of their cores is gone. Like, they're really poor. The Techies is gonna surpass 33 in about 2 minutes, probably. I do like that 33 is going for the shard though. That's probably the cheapest item you can get that's gonna bring you a lot of value. You probably need to fight for the next Aegis. I don't think their high ground defense is good at all on Liquid. Like, they pretty much, it's only Fade Bolt and they're actually going high ground without the Aegis.
Nice, go hit him, Boxy. Let's see what they can do.
It's so small.
Scepter about to be picked up. That's a much better one. I feel like first time I've actually seen him still power shot this game as well.
Yeah, he did in one fight but died right afterwards, so he definitely struggled to really... I mean, Liquid struggled to play a full team fight this entire game.
Got Scepter now. Looks like building's gonna fall. Infest is at the ready if they want to go for it, but they're gonna jump the backline. Freshly completed yours for the Conquer's going to be able to disrupt some of the initiation. Nisha's stealing a decent chunk of damage, but it's just the Conquer's damage. It's not going to be good enough. And a defensive Infest only gives some momentary peace for Nisha to buff his health pull up. Tomato's going to jump out. He's got a target with a crystal mated up on the high ground, but Rage is about to expire, so he's going to be dragged back to the face of Ramses.
Oh, the shackle.
The stolen shackle is pretty decent, but it's not stopping Rabel from right-clicking at all. It's a godlike streak from Ramses. Rabel wants more as well.
Oh, they have the X back.
Radiant's middle tower is under
It's just not what we were expecting at all coming into it.
Yeah, I gotta say, Ramses, he's looking so sharp. Every single... I think he had 0 deaths in that other game as well, or close to that. 9-0 and 8 this game with a third pick Terrorblade into counters. And he's just making it look easy. I mean, the entirety of Liga are playing super sharp. Obviously, this is a BO3, but I didn't expect at all that this game would be this fast, considering that Liga is leading right now. Look at Ramses' items. Daedalus Scotty, Manta, Hurricane Pike, Mina 29. Like, what even is his GPM right now? 868.
It's pretty high. They're gonna maybe think about setting up on Nisha.
This'll come in handy.
King Rebel might swing on over. In fact, Liquid, they're actually gonna go for their own smoke away from Nisha. He's probably gonna have to show in this lane, considering it's getting shoved out. And unfortunately, the beautiful thing about the tech is you just easily can scout them out with the mines. Now, Ramses, he's still here though. Do they have the damage to be able to bring him down before the Sunder? Ramses is gonna get some separation with the Force Staff. Has Conquerors the Sunder target, but
he's alone.
He is still in no man's land. Liga, they're starting to respond, but they're going to be too late. Rebel's going to try and come through for the finishing blow. Almost kills off Insania. 33 is able to slither away. Boxy with a stolen Frostbite. Windrun still on cooldown for 5 seconds. This is huge from Liquid. A massive double kill. 33 got the godlike streak on Rebel. Tomato got the godlike streak on Ramses as well, and this one's not over just yet.
Big oversight from Ramses. You know, Caster Curse is definitely something that's real, because 20 seconds after that, he sees the mine explode. Maybe expected Liquid to totally give up on the smoke since it's too obvious, but they went for it, and finally they strike, healing the Terrorblade. Obviously, the Kunkka was behind, but 5 heroes is way too much even for Ramses to withstand. Roshan, though, is also alive, and on the Radiant side, will Liquid try to this out? Because they line up. Oh. Mines?
Oh, the slow mines.
Oh, God.
Probably would have died at the last one, actually.
They're coming, so I guess there's 2 heroes from Liga. You cannot stop this, probably. There's just... Can L1GA steal this somehow? What are the chances?
Maybe. Let's see if he's perfect on the read.
They're smoking. Scan is
Unfortunately,
there.
you don't have the Wind Ranger to scout. Wait, how do they know? Radiant scan actually...
Oh,
the
mine.
Alright, Roche goes down. A little bit too late. They're still going to look to try and take the team fight though, but 33. Infest gives him some bonus health back. Tomato's going to be able to strike back. They'll kill the techies. Now Ramses fighting at the moment without the meta, but it's not going to matter. Even with the damage stolen, you got the Aegis, but his first life's going to be cancelled out instantly. Now Nisha's going to be caught on the high ground as well. At the front of the portal, he will not be able to escape. I mean, Manta gets some distance down to the low ground somehow, and at least you do have Tomato that's able to TP way under the cover of the Rage, but nonetheless, Liga still take an incredible fight.
Yeah, they did give 1 inch, but Techies was in a great position. So many mines. It lowered the health of all of the Liquid heroes. Lifestealer was also pretty low as he ended up going through the Twin Gates on the other side. And I guess you can probably force some buybacks here. I don't think you're going to get a lane, but you might be able to force Nishas.
How do they just start though? How are you ever going to take a fight into this meta TB? Especially without the Razor as well.
I mean, it is a bit slower. They didn't commit Focus Fire because they're afraid of the fight that could start, and they didn't even have to use the Glyph. It's getting dangerous.
Ooh.
Wait, stolen fast? Is that it?
Oh, nice. Very nicely done. Senyu with the Tombstone. Protects that X drag back into the Torrent Storm. And now this is going to give a bit of a window. Meta down, Torrent Storm out. Liga recognize this full retreat from them.
Looks like they're not going to be punished though. At least Liquid holds onto their buybacks. They don't really lose anything. They still have Glyph. They still have their barracks. But the status quo is still pretty hard. I think even the win probability, only 5%. the scaling, like they need way more gold. Like you need this Larder to have eggs, you need this Razor to have Refresher, which by the way Nisha is at least pretty farmed. He's not too far from that. But yeah, you're also gonna need something to do with the evasion. Lifestealer had to buy BKB instead, so the MKB is still very far away for Timado.
No way, they're actually going to be able to scout out this potential Tormentor. It'll be a little bit too late to contest it, and
Radiant are scanning.
Wow.
Liga, no one's going to be low enough. They'll get back inside the base and look to group up potentially for a
the
smoke
illusions.
as well.
Yeah. I think
Looks
they're
like
just.
reading. I mean, look at the lanes. Like mid
Yeah,
shoved
it's
out, top shoved
impossible.
out, bottom. It's very easy read.
There's no way that they're not smoked in. They will also smoke, knowing that there might be some Liquid heroes here, but they already TP. There you go. Liquid not going to be punished, but they also don't get anything out of that smoke.
You do get some really good wards at least.
True.
I mean, that's the big thing. Maybe you're going to be able to take a fight off the back of it. You've got double gem on die. There's no way they should be able to stay up.
Yeah, and Liga also has really good wards of their own. One very close to the base, one very close to that medium camp. I wonder, I think you want to poke here as Liga. Maybe you don't want to use the Metamorphosis as Ramses did that time, but you want to poke, force everyone back. Liquid already use all their TP, so they can even move too far away from their base, or else... Yeah, it's only Nish, I think, that has it, this TP back on cooldown. Oh, they will meta for this, alright. You have a series in a couple of hours, so maybe they do have to speed this up a little bit.
Lads pick up as well from L1GA. Pretty good item with the Wind Ranger. Along with this Terror Blade. Mada's just going to try and brute force in, and 33's wanting to try and force some reactions out as well. Half duration left on the meta. Dude, look how much damage Nisha takes. Look at the damage. 33 finds an angle for a jump, and it's a pretty good one. Onto 2. They're going to be able to bring down the techies to start the fight. Now, Ramses' meta is about to expire as well. Of course, he's got the Sunder to look to work, but can he find an angle for it? Ramses tries to Satanic off. Sunder's over towards the Conquer, so he's got to refresh in the health pool. And meanwhile, Rabel is just killing off the backline with no remorse. They can't stand their ground. They do their best to deal with the Terror Blade, but you've got another gigantic issue in the Wind Ranger.
Only buyback for Timado here. He's going to be forced to use it.
Nice shackle.
Yes. Okay, Timado.
Even better. Wait, double shackle bounce back. Ramses. His forced off, he's out. Sunder's going to be back up in 5 seconds as well, so there's not even a hope of you being able to kill this Terror Blade, and that's a huge victory for Liga. You get full set of barracks. That's a second one for them now. You get the buyback out of Tomato as well.
Yeah. I mean, that was the perfect engage. They jumped the techies with Lotus on cooldown. They're able to burst him. But once the rage is over here, and there's even a BKB on Timado just to try and deal with that Scotty. But once both of those are over, he just can't stand his ground. Like, his lifesteal isn't enough. That Scotty just chews through all of that lifesteal. And yeah, way too much armor on Ramses. I think 33 died pretty early in that fight. He was just forced out of because of the focus fire. So corrosive haze and even on, and he is super far away from the undispellable corrosive haze as well. This is looking like Liquid's last stand. They pretty much out of resources here.
And they're going to be fighting into a DD as well.
Oh my god.
And hasted up Ramses for a little bit of time. I mean, how are you ever going to win the fight? It's another decent jump from 33, but this time without the lifesteal infest. They're soaking away some damage. Ramsey's going to have to reposition, but it looks like the rest of Liquid in some trouble. Knee shot, dragged back. Conquer spellcasting. It's been so frustrating with the tidal wave, and now with the Scotty slow, Tomato's in some trouble. Armlet toggles just keeps him alive momentarily. Meanwhile, 33 is trying to find an angle onto the back line. Boxy's still looking as well with the shackles, unable to find that opportunity for them to jump back in. And now Ramsey's wanting the finishing blow. They'll catch up to Nisha. No tombstone this time to be able to keep the Razor alive. 2 heroes without a buyback.
I mean, you can even blame Liquid. I think they played that fight really well. You use the Infest to deal with the Axe, and then you get the Tombstone to deal, to save the Razor. He comes back full HP, but they just don't have the damage. They absolutely do not have the magic.
That's not enough. The crush space, it's, yeah, you're just saying, if they don't have the damage, and they don't have the lives to be able to stay in this first game, Liga